What's up, YouTube? I'm so excited because this video is being released as another of these live premiere videos that I've been doing, and these are really fun because we get to actually come and watch this video together at the same time and chat in the YouTube text chat area, which just gives a whole extra level to the experience of watching koalas. So I want to give a special welcome firstly to everybody who is here today for this actual live premiere, and another welcome to those of you who couldn't be here at the time we went live and are watching it afterwards. If you're one of those people, please do make sure that you hit like and still leave a comment below, because it's really inspiring to me to know that people come and they enjoy. And of course, it really helps the YouTube algorithm get this out to more people. If you're here watching the premiere with me, you can also grab that share link right now and go to any social media you use and throw the link in there and say to all your friends, hey, this is premiering right now. Come and join us, and maybe we'll even get some more people in, because it's really fun getting to talk to all of you while we watch the video together. So that's enough of my introduction. What you really came to do is see some koalas. I know that for sure. And I always like to start early in my video by acknowledging the Widjabul Waible people of the Bundjalung Nation on whose land I live. I want to pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Now, let's see what's going to happen with June and her Joey, because finally, we are going to get a gender reveal. But first, we're going to just have a little bit of a look at how amazingly this little Joey is starting to grow and develop. So make sure you've poured yourself a drink, or you've got a little snack ready, you're sitting in a comfy place, because look at this. Look at this Joey climbing around her back. Sorry, I was trying to get the camera set up right when Joey just suddenly got on the move, and whew, okay, let's go. When you're watching Joeys develop, it can be quite amazing, because there's this fine line between Joey being always in pouch or just in mum's lap, and suddenly Joey starts to eat enough that they just get moving. And within a week or so, you just suddenly have this amazing transformation in a koala Joey. As you know from other videos that you've been watching about June and her Joey, the hardest thing about filming koalas in the wild is that they're up in the trees, and it can be hard to see through. But can you clearly see that Joey is sitting right there behind June on her back, instead of sitting in front of her? It's a great transformation. Already this Joey's looking really quite comfortable up there. I love too how Joeys are often born quite a dark colour, and they will often become more and more pale and head towards grey as they grow, but not all of them do. So you can't tell exactly at birth, or not birth, at emerging from the pouch, exactly what colour any new Joey is going to be. And it's quite breezy up there. They're having a bit of a blow-about, and it looks to me like Joey has just kind of woken up, has crawled round onto June's back, and they're both maybe deciding, are they going to have a snooze like this, or is it time to wake up and think about a meal? While we're sort of watching this part, anybody want to take a guess or think they know whether this Joey is a little girl or whether this Joey is a little boy? It's a good time to start speculating. Koala Gardens is a wildlife sanctuary and conservation area for wild koalas on private land. Most of the land that is not part of the conservation area, I actually have trees growing that we use to feed koalas in the hospital. I'm passionate about doing all I can to help save koalas. Lots of the people that are here today might already be part of my Patreon family, and if you're interested in getting involved and becoming a patron, then you can head over to patreon.com/koala gardens. There's links in the description below. It's a fantastic way to support what I'm doing, and there's all kinds of wonderful perks that you can get, including exclusive content. But I will always have most of my video free out on YouTube and different parts of the internet. So we can see there that Joey is awake, but they're seeming to maybe be a little bit sleepy. It's amazing how quickly koalas can go from seemingly quite sleepy to very, very active. So sometimes you have to just get that camera set, hold your breath, and wait around to see what's going to happen. Somehow I can feel all of you joining me in just trying with your sheer force of will to get Joey to wake up and start moving. But the fact that we know that we're going to get a gender reveal means that you know that Joey is going to wake up soon. And we probably all just feel a little bit impatient together for that Joey to get a move on. Another tricky thing when you're out in the bush and you're trying to film koalas in the wild is when it gets a little bit breezy. You can be zoomed in and have them really nicely in the frame, and then a bit of breeze and the koalas blow right out of the frame and you're suddenly scrabbling to get it right again. Come on, Joey. Or Mum. I mean, if Mum woke up, we'd probably get Joey waking up and moving about too. Still, even when we're waiting for something exciting, there is something lovely about just watching a koala in a tree, I find. I mean, I could sit and watch them all day if I didn't have to prepare, process and publish video so that you all get to share it with me. You can also use the super thanks button below and the super chat button if you want to throw a couple of dollars in towards what I do. I actually don't make money on this. This really just helps me to pay for my equipment, pay to spend quite a bit of my time out there doing things, other expenses that I have to do with running the conservation part of the property, and I'm more than happy to pour a lot of my own resources into that, but it's always wonderful when people get behind me as well. Well, they pretty much look like they've gone back to sleep, don't they? Pesky things, these koalas, you know. It's a really interesting thing about how I try to slightly change up the times I go out checking on koalas each day and things. I kind of have a bit of a routine, but I also deliberately do try to switch it up a little bit about at times because you just don't know when you're actually going to find a koala awake and active. And I know that people get most excited to see them awake and active. I mean, I certainly do. But they're looking like they're quite cozied off again. And then a little bit of a movement. Come on, Joey. We've come here to see something. Because Koala Gardens is situated on quite a high ridge line, if there's any breeze about at all, we always catch it here. And koalas seem to me to actually quite enjoy blowing about in the breeze. I've never seen koalas think, oh, it's windy, I should climb down the tree or get really close to a big trunk. They just seem to hold on and go with the flow, so to speak. And this is something that this Joey is even learning right now. Joey is learning that, well, there's a breeze, the tree's moving about and they're blowing, but Mum is really not reacting with any kind of concern. And so that means Joey's not going to react with any kind of concern, and Joey therefore learns that being up in the trees in the breeze, that's just another Tuesday at Koala Gardens, really. Have you ever thought about what it must be like to be a koala mum and to have a koala Joey climbing around on the back of your neck and on the back of your shoulders, digging claws in and holding onto your hair? I mean, that would be like having a child on your back and they're using your hair to hold on to you. It always looks like doesn't bother Mum in the least, but what I have noticed is that quite often when a Joey finally separates from Mum actually has like really horrible, scrappy, tattery looking hair on her shoulders. And when koalas have come into care and we've had to shave any of those areas for some reason when they've had a large Joey, we find that their skin is quite scratched up. So Mum does an amazing job of just putting up with the physical efforts of raising a Joey. Look at how Joey's now cuddled right into the side of June's neck and snuggled right in there. It's like they kind of both become a pillow for each other, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty funny, really. You know, the breeze just blew them about a bit and dislodged their really comfy little positions. And so Joey just like climbs back up a bit higher, takes hold, and starts to doze back off to sleep again. It's almost sometimes like koalas just can't help but sleep when it's time to sleep. You just, you put up with whatever's going on. And I think we're getting to a point where finally Joey is starting to wake up a little bit, having a bit of a scratch, getting just a little bit restless. It's often that way, isn't it? You sort of start coming out of sleep and maybe you're trying to go back off to snooze in for a bit longer, but Joey's starting to get a little bit restless, so we're getting closer and closer to getting that reveal happening. I love how Joey's almost like slipping down Mum's back a little bit. But that's alright, just stop to have a bit of a scratch with your back leg anyway. And the breeze blows again. This Joey has got a beautiful nose pattern too. It's quite a strong nose pattern, a lot of pink around the edges of the nose, and I always appreciate a good strong nose pattern personally because it means that I'm able to tell koalas apart a lot more easily when I don't see them very often. So it will mean that if this Joey comes back later on, then it's going to be really hard to identify. Hey, that's June's Joey. Once we've got this gender reveal out of the way today too, this will be going over onto Patreon. And what happens with naming the Joeys is that my Patreon followers from the cafe and cake level and upwards, they all put forward the names that they would like to see given to a new koala or a new Joey. And we then take all of the names that they put in and I run a poll on Patreon and we get to vote on them and we pick the top three that win that poll, and those three names then go out to Facebook and Instagram for all of those people to vote that name in. From this Joey forwards, however, I'm going to be adding to that I will make a YouTube community post, and any of my followers who don't use Facebook and Instagram, and I know that there are quite a few of them, then they will still be able to make a vote on the final name. So there's lots of ways everyone can be involved in picking a name for a new koala. When possible, I like to wait until we do actually have a gender so that we can really feel that we're choosing a name that suits that koala well. So we've held off for a little while on this Joey, and it's not too long now before we're going to be able to get that process started. As you can imagine, when I'm out here filming this, I'm, thinking, oh, good, here we go. We're getting some movement. Something exciting is going to happen now. And I just have to keep filming and hoping. And sometimes it looks like they really wake up. And, then they just kind of get comfy again. It was late afternoon when I was filming this, and often I find that the later afternoon is a good time to go out and find koalas up and moving, but it's not always totally reliable. Sometimes I find too it depends on what areas of the property they're in as to whether they might actually wait until dark to get up and get moving. And it's terribly difficult to get good filming of koalas waking up and eating and moving about in the dark, that's for sure. There is night vision gear. I actually do have some little night vision kind of binoculars that you can do video with, but the quality of them is so poor. Mostly I just use them to go out sometimes and be looking at koalas at night, particularly if I've got one that I'm concerned about. But the film quality is not all that terrific, so it makes it very hard to share that with all of you. It's way better if I can find a koala in a tree without too much leaf in front of us that I can film, but that's not always an easy order to get filled. You can really see though how even sleeping like this, the Joey is developing a lot of muscle tone, because instead of Joey sitting in mum's lap and just being curled up and sleeping and mum holding on, even while sleeping, Joey is actually having to use a certain amount of muscle to hold on to mum for themselves. So this is all really good developmental experience and learning experience for Joey, even just to be sleeping like this. Because every time a gust of wind comes and they start to blow it about, that Joey has to be holding on properly to cope with that. And now mum moves position a little bit, and again Joey has to just cope with that. There's no real warning, no real like, oh, you know, I'm about to move. Mum just does what she does, and Joey has to go along with it. But it has woken our Joey up a little bit. Yay! With pretty much every passing day now, this Joey is going to become more and more adventurous in moving a little bit away from mum when awake, at trying to climb alone, eat more leaves, get more and more food in. And they just develop so quickly over just a few weeks, from a lap young Joey to a just riding on the back Joey to a Joey who climbs around in the trees and eats for themselves. Now, we better get a really good close eye in to see when this gender reveal is going to happen, eh? We were all sure we were going to see something then, weren't we? Those bright little eyes on a Joey just always, oh, they get me. They're so round and they're so bright, and somehow they have a look of some extra level of innocence even to an adult koala. Just gorgeous. Don't you love how June is just about like curled up into a ball so that Joey can just sit on the top of her back? Honestly, koala mums are amazing. Oh, come on, that's so close, it's ridiculous, Joey. Last chance to get your bets in, everybody. Okay, here we go. Zoom in. Joey wants that leaf. I love those little grabby hands. Get that bit of branch out of the way, for goodness sake. It's unbelievable, isn't it? How much we just can't quite see the part of Joey that we need to see to solve our huge question. Do we have a little girl or do we have a little boy? Come on, Joey. Finish it off. Put us out of our misery. It's almost like being teased. Aha. Did you see? Let's get in a bit closer so that we can be sure and be doubly sure. I saw. Did you see? It it is sometimes a matter of you've got to be very quick. There you go. Definite evidence. Shall I play it again in slow motion? All right, here we go in super, super slow motion. And as Joey lifts that foot, we peer through between the leaves and between the branches. We get the final evidence that we indeed have got a little boy. So now, after this video finishes, if you're a patron, we're going to have a post start in Patreon and you're going to be able to start putting names forward. I wonder if he's going to be as cheeky a little Joey as what Hope was. Do you remember Hope last year at this sort of age and the way he would race up and down and around the tree branches? Something tells me this is going to be another very similar little Joey. Now that this one is awake and moving about, just look at how well he is munching into this leaf. He's in a swamp mahogany tree and he is learning that when you wake up, if mum isn't going to wake up, you just go and start sorting the meal out for yourself. He's obviously found it feels a bit safer to be down a bit closer to mum just at the moment. And I mean, there is leaf within reach, so it's really not such a bad idea at all. One of the great things about being able to release this video as a premiere has been to have conversation happening between people and just be able to ask some questions, clarify some things, and just simply enjoy each other's company. I'm really enjoying using this as a new feature, and I hope that you're enjoying it too, and that you can make it to lots more live premieres. And guess what? You all know what I'm going to say, don't you? You have made it through to the end of yet another Koala Gardens video. I'm so glad that we finally got the answer to this little fella, and we now get to just name him and sit back and enjoy watching him grow and develop. He's even learning there that he should be trying to bite that leaf off at the base. That's quite an advanced technique. So, make sure you have smashed that like button, and would you stop and write in the comments below, Joey's grow up so fast. Notice I didn't ask you to write the gender reveal in the comments below. Let's try and keep it so that people who are just coming to watch the video for the first time don't stumble onto that spoiler, but get to watch through and find the reveal happen for themselves. Thanks so much for watching. You know that there's going to be lots of great video coming up. I have got a few really good ones that will be coming soon, so keep making sure you've got the notifications bell turned on for your YouTube subscription to Koala Gardens, and I will see you again soon. And a special thanks to those again who were able to make this premiere live and watch it with me and other fellow koala warriors who are doing all we can to make sure that koalas are around for the next generation. Another way that you can support Koala Gardens is you can go over to my Redbubble shop and check out the huge range of types of merchandise with lots of different designs on it. This is the newest design that I made just recently, a silhouette of our gorgeous girl Grace.